All right, so everything now is wiped down. Everything is got solvent on it, and everything is dried off. And so I think it's time to lubricate the gun and reassemble it, put it back together. So for the lubrication, this is what I've been using: Rem oil, Remington, and it's got Teflon in there, so I've heard that's pretty good stuff. So again, let me know if I'm doing something wrong here, but this is kind of how I do it. First thing, I just put a little dab on my finger here. I'm just going to kind of lightly coat the outside of the barrel, and not putting too much in there, and just kind of getting all over those surfaces. Just want to protect it and make sure that it functions well. Get a nice little coat there. That's probably too much. Okay, I can see now it's too much. Hard to feel through these gloves sometimes, when you got too much and when you need a little bit more. But I tell you, it's easier to work through these gloves than to just leave it up to my finger. So I just kind of wipe that down, dry that off a little bit, just being sure to leave some in there. And then I am going to put a little bit of oil on a patch and run it through the barrel so that there's just a light coating inside there. I think that's probably a good idea. Not going to put a lot in there. I know that they say not to put a lot of oil in the barrel for you don't want to tamper with the pressure inside there too much. So just a little bit, just a light coating inside. Get up in there, nice, and run it a couple times. All right, that's good. The barrel looks nicely lubed, so we'll set that to the side. Kind of give this guy a little bit of lube too. Some on a patch. Guide rod here. Just kind of make sure the parts move together without a lot of friction. It's always a good idea. Set that aside. Run the spring through there. Little lubrication on there. And now for this guy, went to a gun store and I'm using Jardine's Extreme. It's a superior grade weapon grease. And I pretty much only apply this to the rails. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just a little bit here. Yeah, it's this funky salmon colored stuff. Kind of looks like mashed up fish eggs or something. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Just putting a little bit there on the rails. I got a lot up here, way too much. But sometimes that's what happens. It kind of dries in the tip, and then when you're pushing real hard, a whole bunch comes out. So we'll take care of that excess without putting any more on there. So just kind of put up the rails and then we take some to the slide, put some inside there. So I don't know if you guys can see that. There, just a real thin layer inside there. Just a real thin layer right there. And then I like to put a little bit of grease right here on this guy, right up to about here, because I can see that that's where it's getting wear. You know, when this thing slides back, you know, I can see that it's wearing off back here, and you don't need to go the full, you know, the full distance. And I'm not even sure what the name of this like part is, but you know, just probably about a half to maybe a third there of it should get a little bit of grease, and that's pretty good. Got it nice and lubricated in the rails there. And okay, well, I think I'm about ready to put this guy back together, and then we'll do a function test and see where we're at. Okay. Put the slide back together. Would help if I did this the right way. Got that in there nice. Okay, we're good to go. Replace the slide lock. Yeah, and I can already see there's a little excess grease coming off right there. We'll clean that up on the right back here. The excess will come through. Let's work it in there a little bit. Clean off the excess, make sure we're good to go. Okay. So yeah, we're clear. Chamber is clear. Everything looks good. Decocked. Now what I'll do is take a little silicone rag and just kind of wipe over this thing. Actually, let me use this one. This one I've already. Before I put it away in the case, I like to make sure it has a little layer of. Yeah, I'm in the garage and you can hear the neighbors through the garage door. Sometimes I tell you, our next door neighbors on one side are dramatic. But, so if you got good neighbors, tell them that you appreciate them for being so nice. So that's a lot of silicone on there, so I'm gonna have to wipe that down with a dry cloth, because that is just too much. It's really wet. Yeah, and I don't know. This is one of the kind that came in the kit that I got. It's a clean bore silicone, but you can see it's treated and it makes the gun look really wet. So I'm just going to kind of lightly dry that off. So that, guys, that's how I clean my Sig Sauer P226. And I like this gun a lot. Like I said, I'm not I'm not a Sig Sauer only kind of guy, but this gun has really been serving me well, ever since I got it. So any suggestions or comments is very helpful, and please go check out the channels that I mentioned, because those are the guys that helped me, and they don't even know it yet, but they did. And so, all right, good luck, and let me know what I'm doing wrong. This is John signing off. Join us again. Peace.